Friends, if you are watching this presentation, it is possible that you or a close loved one has been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. This situation that suddenly arose in life surely brings a very strange, difficult, and dark experience for everyone. Parents' minds remain constantly disturbed about the dangers related to this condition in young children. But with the right information and guidance, you can not only protect the child from these dangers, but also ensure a fulfilling life for the child despite having diabetes. In this presentation, through the story of a 9-year-old boy named Arjun, you will understand the issues that may arise in this situation and prepare yourself to deal with them effectively. Arjun was admitted to the hospital when he was sick, and at the time of admission, his blood sugar was 530. Now, after 2 days, Arjun's condition seemed much better. But his mother had many questions in her mind.
Doctor Madam, what happened to Arjun? Why did his condition get so bad? I was terrified.
Look, Arjun has diabetes, and the reason for his sick condition was diabetic ketoacidosis. This dangerous situation is mostly found in children at the time diabetes is diagnosed. Now it is under control, and Arjun is out of danger.
Thank you very much, madam. And his diabetes, will it get better? When will he be discharged?
Look, it would not be right to answer these questions in haste. Some test reports are still pending. Actually, the situation is not that simple. You will need to understand quite a bit. Don't worry, we will explain everything. Please meet me at 2 p.m. in my OPD chamber. Having a blood sugar level of more than 200 mg% in any person indicates the possibility of diabetes mellitus. Friends, diabetes is of many types, and at different ages and conditions, different types of diabetes are observed. The most commonly seen diabetes in children is called type 1 diabetes mellitus, which occurs due to low insulin production in the body. In our further discussion, we will refer to it as type 1. At the time of diagnosis in most children, doctors identify it by the indicative symptoms of type 1 and begin treatment. Sometimes, in case of doubt in diagnosis, some tests like an antibody panel, etc., are conducted. Upon diagnosis, the child's family must thoroughly understand some important facts. First, type 1 is a lifelong condition. As of today, there is no definite cure available for it. Second, unlike other common illnesses where you can relax after getting medicine from the doctor, this is not the case with type 1. Because every action of the child affects blood sugar 24/7. So family members need to understand this condition for proper management. Understanding how every activity, from eating to sleeping and playing, affects sugar levels and taking appropriate steps accordingly will only be possible by the family members. Expecting to control sugars solely with insulin dosage proves to be futile. Don't worry. Your doctor and diabetes educators will teach you how to do this in a simple and easy way. Third, because insulin is itself a delicate protein, it cannot be administered orally. It needs to be given in the form of injections several times a day, exactly as we have to eat multiple times daily. Trust me, it is easy to administer it. Oral pills are useful only in type 2 diabetes, which appears usually at an older age, not in type 1 diabetes. And fourth, negligence towards blood sugar may not show immediate effects, but internally it damages many organs of the body like kidneys, eyes, heart, etc., which can prove to be dangerous over time. Arjun's mother was quite disturbed after hearing all this in the OPD.
Ma'am, why are you saying that this disease cannot be cured?
I understand your sentiments, but it's my duty to provide you with the right information. I would also like us to accept this reality and start understanding the disease without delay. which will be beneficial for Arjun's health.
But why did this happen? What mistake did I make for which my Arjun is being punished?
Don't think like that. It's not anyone's fault. Type 1 is an autoimmune disorder. There can be many risk factors behind it, but the exact reason for its occurrence is not clear. If you take my advice, focus on the future. It's best for everyone.
You are right, ma'am. For Arjun's well-being, I am ready to do whatever you say.
It would be better if Arjun's father is also involved in the process. This information is equally important for the entire family.
Arjun's father passed away last year from dengue. He used to take great care of Arjun. Now, Arjun is like my entire world to me.
Oh, sorry. I had no idea. Don't worry. Both you and Arjun are quite wise and understanding, and together we will learn well about diabetes. I have organized a class on type 1 for tomorrow. Like you, other families will also come for diabetes education. You must attend it.
Yes, madam, certainly.
Treating type 1 is not a matter of a few days. It is a lifelong commitment to lifestyle regulations. It's also important to understand that the rules specified for type 1 are actually suitable for everyone's health. Therefore, in the treatment of type 1, it is seen as essential for the entire family to understand the basics of the situation and to comply with the rules of a healthy lifestyle for good management. Friends, today we will talk about some basics. The first question is it wrong to have sugar in the blood? No, sugar in the blood has the same role as gas in a car. It acts as fuel for our bodily functions, such as speaking, walking, and thinking. And it comes into our blood after our food is digested. But it's not that sugar is obtained only by eating sweets. Almost every item in our food contains sugar. Let's talk about this later. So, what happens in type 1 that makes us see the same blood sugar as a villain? So, here comes the role of insulin. Insulin is a hormone that is naturally produced in the pancreas gland in our bodies. Its main job is to keep the sugar in the blood within a certain limit. The sugar that enters the blood from food, insulin directs it to its target organs like the brain, muscles, and liver, etc., and converts the excessive amount into fat and stores it. In type 1, due to damage in the child's pancreas, sufficient insulin is not produced, disrupting blood sugar control. Do you know why it's important for blood sugar levels to stay within a range? Okay, tell me what happens when you keep trying to dissolve sugar in the water. If a lot of spoons of sugar are added to a little water, what will happen?
Madam, the sugar will dissolve up to a few spoons, then it will start settling at the bottom.
Exactly. Similarly, sugar dissolves in the blood up to a certain limit. Beyond this, it begins to draw water from the body to dissolve, creating a dangerous condition like diabetic ketoacidosis.
Not only that, over a long period, it accumulates in organs and damages them. So, certainly, keeping blood sugar under control is necessary. Now, in type 1, due to the failure of this natural regulation, we have to do this externally. That's why we have to administer insulin, which is actually not a medicine, but the same hormone that is no longer being produced in the body. And just as we have to eat food multiple times a day, it isn't enough to eat just once. Similarly, insulin also has to be taken multiple times. There are now various types of insulin with different characteristics available, for which you are advised based on your circumstances. Similarly, there are multiple ways to administer insulin, such as syringe, pen device, and pumps, which we will soon discuss in detail. Now, eating food several times a day and taking insulin too. But what about blood sugar? See, everything is happening for them only, isn't it? So, it is very important to continuously monitor blood sugar to make meaningful modifications in the treatment. You will do this blood sugar testing at home, which we call self-monitoring of blood glucose, or SMBG. You will also be informed about its various methods. All right, thank you. We will discuss the rest in the next session. Insulin in the body is not only active after eating, but also maintains sugar metabolism throughout the day, along with hormones like cortisol and growth hormone that work oppositely to some extent. That's why, in type 1, broadly 2 types of insulin are used for blood sugar maintenance. Short-acting, like regular, Lispro, and long-acting, like Glargine, Detromir. Generally, short-acting insulin is taken according to meal times to cover the sugar load from food, and long-acting is taken 1 to 2 times a day to provide basal coverage throughout the day. According to age, routine, and the effect of insulin, your doctor and diabetes educators suggest the most appropriate type and dosage of insulin for you. Insulin needs to reach the subcutaneous tissue right under the skin to work. The main ways to deliver it there are syringe, pen device, and insulin pump. The use of a syringe is the least expensive, but it needs to be filled each time a dose is given. Many people use pen devices for this convenience. Additionally, they are easy to carry and handle during school and travel. These devices are slightly more expensive than syringes. The biggest advantage of using a pump is that you can adjust the insulin dose according to your needs, even in small intervals throughout the day, allowing for good control of blood sugar over the entire 24 hours. However, its cost and technical complexity are commonly mentioned reasons against its universal use. Similarly, for blood sugar testing, a range from glucometers of numerous brands to continuous glucose monitoring systems, or CGMS, is available. With CGMS, round-the-clock monitoring of blood sugar is possible, but its cost and technical complexity are considered higher than a glucometer. For some time now, flash glucose readers for testing have also entered the market, which are affordable even though they have many features like CGMS. Every method has its own benefits, and according to your circumstances, your doctor or diabetes educators will surely help you choose and use the most suitable option. We will also mention various organizations, institutions, and projects that help provide these essential items for economically weaker users. In addition, it is important to interact with other families living with type 1. And yes, along with these, to monitor the risk of DKA, you need to keep an eye on ketones. This can be done using either urine strips or blood glucose meters that measure ketones as well.
Madam, I have started to understand a bit. Arjun has also learned how to test blood sugar and inject insulin with a pen.
The good thing is, both of you are understanding the situation quite sensibly.
But madam, we cannot afford the pump. Will this not cause any shortcomings in Arjun's treatment?
Hey, why do you feel that way? Tell me, if someone wants to cook vegetables, on what will they turn out best? On a coal tandoor, a gas stove, or an electric stove?
Oh, madam, these are all just tools. The vegetable will taste good only if the person knows the basics of vegetables, spices, and cooking.
Correctly said. Similarly, diabetes control depends on how much you know about the basics of diabetes and solving major issues. The matter of resources comes later.
Madam, understood. And what should we keep in mind about food? Can we eat everything except potatoes and rice?
No, it's not like that. We need to talk about diet in detail. In this week's Diabetes Family Interaction, we are going to talk about diet and nutrition. You must come too. For now, just understand that you should avoid sweet or refined flour items and packaged processed items. Focus on home-cooked lentils, vegetables, yogurt, buttermilk, and salad.
Understood, madam. When will we be discharged from the hospital?
I hope that you have read and understood the book on the Introduction to Diabetes that I gave you. You have almost received the initial diabetes education. I just want to assess Arjun's understanding once and be satisfied. Then you will be discharged. It is not practical to teach everything before discharge during the child's first hospital admission. It can take time to understand this kind of new technical information. Right now, the focus should be on the most vital information, like giving insulin, blood sugar, and ketone testing, hypoglycemia management, and sick day rules. The rest of the discussion can be expanded on in follow-up visits. Similarly, expecting blood sugar to be completely normal before discharge is also not correct. Strict treatment titration for blood sugar should only be done when the child returns to their normal routine.
Good morning, ma'am. Mom asked me to meet you.
Good morning, Arjun. We need to take a small test with you. First, tell me what the sick day rules are.
Ma'am, the risk of DKA increases when one is sick. To prevent this, we need to ensure that during illness we drink sufficient amounts of water, monitor ketones, continue blood sugar tests, and if the levels are high, increase short-acting insulin as advised.
Good. Okay. Now, one last question. What is hypo, how to recognize it, and what to do when it happens?
Ma'am, a low blood sugar level in the blood is called hypo. It is generally referred to as hypo when it is below 70 milligrams %, but symptoms can appear even at higher levels if the sugar drops quickly. Symptoms can range from hunger, dizziness, shaking, and anxiety to unconsciousness or seizures. When this happens, immediately take carbohydrates with a high glycemic index, like glucose powder or sugar dissolved in water. After that, eat available snacks like a sandwich or bread and monitor sugar levels.
Wow! Smart boy. You've also learned about the glycemic index. Good! You'll be discharged this evening. Bring your blood sugar records to the follow-up.
Certainly, madam, we will meet you at the Pediatric Diabetes Clinic in 4 days.
The time after the first discharge brings a new experience for the family, as now, for the first time, diabetes management rules have to be incorporated into the child's routine. Naturally, many questions will arise at every step during this time. It is better to write them down at that time. Otherwise, you may not remember them when meeting the doctor. Similarly, if there is suspicion of a clear reason related to food, insulin dose, or exercise behind fluctuations in blood sugar, that should also be noted. Considering the various reasons, it helps in deciding the insulin dose.
Hello, madam.
Hello, how was everything? And how are you, Arjun? You've got your weight, height, and blood pressure checked, right?
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am good. Yes, ma'am. Got everything noted in the records.
Madam, as you explained, we have tried our best to take full care, but the blood sugar still fluctuates a lot.
You must have brought the records. Let's see now. So, what other difficulties have you faced?
Madam, for one, he's eating a lot now. He didn't eat this much before. Is this why the sugar levels are not stable?
See, insulin is an anabolic hormone. It means it works for building up of the body's elements. In the case of type 1, due to insulin deficiency, children usually lose a significant amount of weight initially. And when they receive insulin as treatment to restore the lost elements of the body, many children experience increased hunger for a few days. There should be improvement in a few days. But in the meantime, keeping the diet suitable for diabetes will help control blood sugar.
All right, madam, I was really worried. Okay, tell me, if he ever falls ill and needs to start some other medication, then insulin should be stopped, right?
Oh, who told you that? You should definitely not stop it. In fact, in such a situation, you might need to increase the insulin dose.
See, I told you, right? Madam, she doesn't listen to me, just believes whatever the neighbor auntie says.
Hey, Mama, why so?
Ma'am, my neighbor has a lot of knowledge about diabetes. Firstly, both of her parents have diabetes, and secondly, she watches a lot of videos on the internet.
Oh, mate, when it comes to giving opinions about diabetes, every Tom and Harry claims to be an expert. Remember, there is much more misinformation traded by the public and the internet than accurate information about this. It happens. And you know that diabetes in old age is quite different from type 1 diabetes. Therefore, follow and trust the information and sources suggested by your certified diabetes specialists and educators only.
Madam, Auntie also says that no matter how much sweet is eaten as religious offerings, it doesn't affect
See,
blood
Arjun
sugar.
is right. Any harm from such superstitions will affect you, not Auntie. Apart from this, when the situation arises, follow advice outside modern medicine only after understanding and verifying it well, and do not take the risk of stopping insulin under any circumstances. In case of doubt, you can discuss it with us.
Understood, ma'am. From now on, I will only trust verified information and won't pay attention to hearsay.
Okay, Arjun, tell me, do you take medicine tablets or do you only drink syrups?
I take pills, madam. I know why you are asking. Most syrups contain high amounts of sugar, which can disrupt blood sugar levels. That's why always inform your doctor about your diabetes and, wherever possible, prefer tablets or sugar-free syrups.
Good. Okay, any more questions that come to your mind?
Madam, when should we get its HbA1c and other tests done now?
HbA1c gives you an estimate of the average blood sugar over the past approximately 3 months. That's why it is repeated every 3 to 4 months. During Arjun's admission, its value was found to be 12%, which is quite high. However, it is commonly seen at the time of type 1 diagnosis. Now, along with treatment, its value should come close to the normal range over time. In addition to HbA1c, other parameters are also used to measure glycemic control, such as how many sugar readings are falling outside the target range. In the same way, the time in range parameter is used with CGMS. During the admission, tests were also conducted for thyroid and gluten allergies, which were normal. After 2 years, when Arjun turns 11 years old, we will also start his annual checkups, which will screen for microvascular complications from diabetes affecting the eyes, kidneys, heart, nerves, etc. regularly. Some other tests might be needed from time to time.
Okay, madam, we will fully pay attention to what you have said. When can Arjun start going to school?
Oh, haven't sent to school yet. Well, no problem. Start sending now, because when there's a change in activities, it's important to keep a close eye on sugar levels. Arrange for blood sugar checking and insulin injections at school. We will also provide you with a letter addressed to the class teacher containing important information for them.
Sure, we will, madam. Shall we go now?
Oh, not now. After the clinic, we will talk with the parents about the diet suitable for diabetes. Please attend before you leave. It is good to have discussions like these in diabetes family group meetings. This way, most people's views and doubts can be addressed together, and the sense of a support community arises as people get to know each other better. Welcome to the diabetes nutrition discussion. So first, tell me, what do you know about this so far?
Madame, just avoid potatoes, rice and sweets. Everything will be fine.
The problem is with the sugar bought from the market. The pure sugar that comes from our village is good for diabetes.
No. Rice can be eaten after boiling and draining.
Okay. Now, listen carefully and try to understand what I am saying. Wherever you feel the need, don't hesitate to ask in between. To understand nutrition in diabetes, we will proceed step by step. First, we need to understand that there are many misconceptions prevalent about this, and without moving beyond them, we can't understand anything further. So, the first step is to unlearn the myths. In the second step, we understand that it's not just about eating certain items in fixed amounts. Whatever we eat is made up of different amounts of nutrients. For growing children, it's essential to get all nutrients in the right amounts. Our main focus tends to be on carbohydrates, but protein, fat, fiber, micronutrients, etc. are equally important.
Madam, normally what should be the proportion of various nutrients for children?
That's a good question. According to guidelines, 40 to 50% of the energy from food should come from carbohydrates, and 15 to 25% should come from protein. The amount of fats should contribute less than 35%, with the saturated fat amounting to a maximum of 10%. Saturated fat is higher in items like ghee, butter, coconut oil, red meat, and egg yolk. We need to understand the nutrient content of items used in the regular meals made at home. The amount of nutrients is written on all packaged food items. Make it a habit to read those labels. Once we have this information, in the third step, we determine the appropriate amount by knowing the carbohydrate content in each meal. The fourth step is to calculate the child's daily nutrient requirements according to their age and routine. Next step is to understand the concept of food portions. This helps us know how different food items provide equal quantity of nutrients in different amounts. Along with this, understanding the glycemic index and load will make it easier for us to plan each meal. Don't worry, your diabetes specialist and educators will help you gain all this information.
Madam, what is the glycemic index?
Glycemic index is a parameter that tells us how quickly blood sugar rises after eating a food item. From the perspective of diabetes, medium and low GI items are better for us because high items will increase sugar immediately, which is not a good thing. Items made from sugar, jaggery, honey, juice, watermelon, sweet ripe fruits, cornflakes, and items made from refined flour are considered high glycemic index, while low glycemic index items include roasted chickpeas, egg whites, lentils, vegetables, whole grain chapati, and fruits like apples, oranges, and guavas. Be aware that there is no need to add any fancy, costly items to your meal. It can be done with slight adjustments to the items regularly made in your home that fit your budget, taste, and traditions. Some items are eaten for breakfast, and some things people prefer to eat for dinner.
So, madam, what kind of food items should be included in a typical meal?
According to the guidelines, half of any meal should consist of non-starchy vegetables like leafy greens, bell peppers, okra, bottle gourd, gourds, legumes, and salad vegetables. 1/4 can include grains like rice, wheat, maize, and starchy vegetables like potatoes, taro. In the remaining 1/4, there should be protein-rich items like lentils, paneer, soybeans, and for non-vegetarians, items like meat and egg whites. Along with these, regular use of dairy items, nuts, and fruits ensures the fulfillment of all nutrients. Now, as you know, every person's metabolism can respond differently. Therefore, after planning a diet according to these steps, the next step is to understand your metabolic response through regular blood sugar monitoring and make further modifications accordingly. Diet modifications will be incomplete without intensive insulin therapy. Just as we do not eat the same food every day or do the same activities, understanding and applying ways to adjust insulin doses will help achieve predictable, desired glycemic control.
Madam, how is the insulin dose adjusted according to the food?
See, generally, the larger portion of the entire day's insulin dose is given as short-acting insulin with meals. By calculating the insulin to carbohydrate ratio using the rule of 500, an estimate is made of how much insulin is appropriate to cover each meal. If on a festival days, the child's food intake increases, then an extra dose of insulin can be decided in this way. Even so, you will notice that blood sugar can fluctuate. For this, another calculation using the correction factor, rule of 1,800, is applied. This helps us determine how many units of insulin to increase or decrease when the blood sugar is above or below normal.
Madam, my son is 4 years old. He keeps asking for food and drink every so often. What should I give him in such a case?
This question is quite common. In such situations, few items with both low glycemic load as well as index can be given frequently. For eating, green vegetables, salad items, and vegetable soup can be given. And for drinking, buttermilk, light tea with negligible milk, and salty lemon water can be provided. Let's hope that you will start using the information given about diet soon. Don't worry, it may seem a bit complicated now, but with time and more discussions, you will all understand.
All right, madam, you explained very well. Now we'll leave. We will come to show the blood sugar records at the Pediatric Diabetes Clinic after 2 weeks.
Thank you. Sure. Understanding the information provided about diet and insulin dose and regularly applying it in your routine, most people experience less fluctuation in blood sugar over time. However, many people complain that despite paying attention to food and insulin, their sugars keep fluctuating. There can be many reasons behind this situation. Often, it is observed that the responsibility of checking blood sugar and insulin injection entirely lies with the child without any adult supervision. We also encourage involving the child in management, but without supervision, there is a chance of negligence and errors. It is also observed that during adolescence, children are found experimenting on their own. Numerous problems related to insulin dosing continuously arise. Remember, the use of premix insulin, which contains short-acting and intermediate or long-acting insulin in a fixed proportion, is not recommended anywhere in type 1. Many times, careless interchange between U40 and U100 strength insulin and syringes is observed. The potency and effect of insulin may diminish due to storage-related issues. Different brands, expiration dates, excessive heat, or travel-related reasons may be behind this. If insulin freezes or appears cloudy, it should not be used. The lumps at the injection site, which we call lipohypertrophy lumps, are also among the common causes of unpredictable sugar levels. In the same way, the users should be aware of the fact that insulin effect may be different when injected at different body sites. That's why it's good to give insulin at the same site at the same time every day. Often, after parents leave for work, child may be feasting on restricted food items, causing sugar levels to become uncontrolled. It might also be that parents, due to incorrect information, are not providing the appropriate diet. At any given time, the blood sugar levels you see are influenced by many factors besides food and insulin. These include activity levels, any infections, physiological state, etc. Variations in sugar levels are observed during the child's regular days, school days, exams, and holidays. Therefore, try to maintain some regularity in the major activities of the day, such as sleep routine, meal timings, rest, and playtime. While this is considered quite difficult to achieve with toddlers, in adolescence, there are also significant fluctuations in sugar levels due to changes in the hormonal system. After being diagnosed with type 1, many times the insulin dose requirements keep decreasing due to frequent hypoglycemia. This phase is called the honeymoon period. If a child has a chronic infection like TB or an allergy to wheat, insulin may not work properly and sugar levels can be disrupted. Friends, which of these reasons is affecting your sugar levels and how to correct it? Your diabetes specialist and educators identify with a scientific approach to guide you appropriately. Let's now see what issue related to Arjun came up in the next visit. Oh, what happened? You look troubled. Is everything okay?
No, madam, nothing is okay. I started sending Arjun to school, but the headmaster is threatening to expel him from the school. They are asking me to search for some other school.
Oh, how can they expel him just like that? Don't worry, I'll go talk to them. This situation shouldn't arise.
All right, madam. I'll go there and arrange a video call.
This regrettable situation sometimes arises. Mostly, it is due to the general public's ignorance and doubt about type 1. Let's hear the headmaster's side as well. Hello, please tell us what problem you have with Arjun staying in the school.
Doctor, he has a diabetes. Our school is not for him. He brings needles and electronic devices to school. How we can allow such a security breach?
I am listening. Go on. Complete what you were saying.
Secondly, if anything happens to him at school, taking care of him is your responsibility, not ours. Let us do our job peacefully.
Seems you finished speaking. Now listen to me. In your school, there must be children with weak eyesight or others on some medications. All those children also have medical problems. So why this discrimination only against Arjun? Mr. Headmaster, did Arjun choose diabetes by his own preference? The State Administration and Education Department also provide diabetes-related guidelines for students, which you should know. Every child has an equal right to education, and no discrimination is expected at all.
Well, she is right.
You should know that diabetes does not spread from one child to another, so there should be no superstition or discrimination about it. He brings syringes to school for his treatment. Do you know what all could come out if the students' school bags are checked? I'm sure many surprises, starting at least with a geometry needle compass, are likely. And regarding your last point, you don't have to treat him. With diabetes education, Arjun can manage everything himself. It just requires supervision by the school nurse and some caution and sensitivity from the people around when necessary.
Now I understand, madam. Arjun doesn't need to go to another school. Tell us what we need to do.
We will provide a written diabetes management plan for Arjun, detailing treatments, specific needs, and risks, with clear guidelines for the school nurse, class teacher, and other close individuals. Arjun will be given a special identity card, which will have guidelines for emergencies and contact details of some people. Along with this, we will also provide your staff with regular diabetes refresher training so that they can perform their duties with confidence.
Thank you for this detailed information, Doctor. We will try our best to follow it.
Thank you, ma'am. With your support, our school problem is also resolved.
You are welcome. Oh yes, I needed to tell you that a competition is going to happen. It will be in the format of a quiz game show called Who Will Be Type 1 Genius, in which only children living with type 1 can participate. I want Arjun to participate in this. The winning children will receive all expenses for their diabetes management until they become self-reliant. This competition is organized by a volunteer organization created by families living with type 1.
That's wonderful. But does this silly boy know anything? If that happens, it would be great.
I know few things. I'll prepare for the rest. I will definitely participate.
There are provisions for assistance through some projects, both governmental and non-governmental, for economically weaker families. You can discuss these with your diabetes specialist and educator. So, what do you think? Can Arjun become a type 1 genius?
Today is the day of his competition. After lunch, I will also go to the show with my friend to encourage him. My friend is a clinical psychologist and is involved in counseling some type 1 families. Thank you, buddy. You told me about this competition. I hope it can help Arjun's family.
I told everyone I am in contact with. Isn't that good? Deserving children should benefit from it.
Okay, tell me, families mostly come to you with what problem? Do they come during the initial days of being diagnosed with type 1 or after some time has passed?
Actually, some in the beginning, some later. In fact, the first few days bring a lot of disturbance for the families. Feelings of fear, anxiety, and helplessness arise suddenly, and understanding and following diabetes management requires time, effort, patience, and resources. After being in this situation for a long time, as seen in many chronic conditions, people may experience negative emotions like helplessness and reluctance, or rebellious thoughts in adolescence.
So, what is your professional approach to such problems?
When talking to most people, when they are made aware that they are not alone, there is no need to panic about these thoughts in this situation, and with proper information and guidance, this situation can be controlled. Then their thinking begins to turn positive. In such cases, the mutual support system of those living with type 1 and their families plays a very important role.
Oh, we didn't realize the way while talking. We've reached the game show studio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We extend our respect, greetings, and gratitude to all the participants and audience of our game show. So let's play Who Will Become a Type 1 Genius? Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for our 10-year-old contestant Pooja, who has won the Diabetes Care Package for the next 5 years by correctly answering 8 out of 10 questions. So far, we have not found a genius who answered all the questions correctly. Let's see what happens next. Now we invite the next and today's last contestant to the hot seat. Hello, smart boy. Will you introduce yourself?
Hello, sir. I am Arjun. I am 9 years old and have come here with my mom. My doctor, madam, is also here.
Let's begin, Arjun. Are you ready for the first question? So, tell us, which of these insulin types has the longest duration of action? You have to choose among glargine, detromere, glulicine, or degludec.
The answer is degludec, which is considered to have a duration of action of approximately 42 hours. Glulicine is a rapid-acting analog, while the other two fall into the category of long-acting analogs.
Correct. The second question is about the needle of an insulin injection. And tell us, what length in millimeters is considered the safest needle for it? Your options are 2, 4, 6, or 10.
Sir, the correct answer is 4 millimeters. It makes it easier to give a subcutaneous injection at a right angle to the skin, even in children.
Your answer is also correct. The next question is about the injection site. Tell us at which of these sites regular insulin's effect can be seen the fastest. Your options are the abdomen, arm, hip, or thigh.
Sir, administering it on the stomach should show effects the quickest, while applying it on the arm also shows faster effects compared to the other two sites.
You said applying on the stomach? Sir, that is the correct answer. Now comes the fourth question. Tell us, in milligrams percent, below what blood glucose level is hypoglycemia considered serious? Your options are 70, 45, 54, or 60.
Sir, blood glucose below 54 milligrams percent is considered serious hypoglycemia, as there is a risk of neurogenic symptoms.
Wow, that's also the right answer. Your preparation seems quite good. The next question is again related to hypo. Tell us how much milligram of glucagon should be given as an injection for a child weighing 30 kilos in case of severe hypo. Options are 2, 1, half, or 2.5.
Sir, for a child weighing over 25 kilograms, the dose of glucagon is 1 milligram. So the correct answer is 1 milligram.
Absolutely correct. Arjun, you have now reached the midpoint of the game. Tell us, what does winning here mean to you today?
Sir, I can certainly say that it means a lot. Having the stress of treatment costs alleviated will be very helpful for my family, and then we can think of something better for ourselves in the future.
Our best wishes are with you. Now, here's your sixth question. In the daily diet of a 10-year-old child, approximately how many grams of dietary fiber is recommended? Your options are 100, 70, 30, or 15.
Sir, the formula for calculating dietary fibers is age in years plus 5. So for a 10-year-old child, it will be 15 grams per day?
Are you asking or telling?
Sir, the answer is 15 grams.
Sir, your answer is excellent. Absolutely correct. In the next question, tell us which of these items falls under the category of non-nutritive sweeteners. The options are sucrose, glucose, fructose, and lactose.
The answer is saccharin. Additionally, aspartame and saccharin also fall into this category.
Oh, brother, that's correct too. What did you eat today?
Sir, before leaving home, Mom gave me flavored yogurt for good luck.
Let's move forward in the game towards the eighth question. You might know that certain specific vaccines are recommended for children with type 1. You have to name any two of these vaccines.
Sir, generally the guidelines vary according to the regulations of the states, but in such cases, influenza and chickenpox vaccines are mostly recommended.
Wow, that is also the correct answer. According to the game rules, after 8 correct answers, you have now received the care package for the next 5 years. Our best wishes are with you for the next 2 questions. So, the next question is related to the parameter time and range used in the CGM system. You might know that the lower limit of this range is 70 milligrams percent. You have to state its upper limit in milligrams percent. Your options are 200, 150, 175, and 180.
Sir, its upper limit is considered 180.
Correct answer. Now we have reached the final stage of our game. There. Arjun, the 10th question of the game is about the use of insulin pumps. If someone has eaten a meal at a party that includes high glycemic index carbohydrates and also a lot of fat. So, in such a case, what kind of bolus should be administered to cover this meal? The options are standard bolus, square bolus, dual wave bolus, or no bolus is needed. There's no need to worry. You can take your time.
Sir, dual bolus has the features of both standard and square boluses. So high GI carbs should be covered by the standard feature, and the late rise due to fats should be covered by the square feature. So my answer is dual bolus.
Are you sure? Should we lock it in? Arjun, if you had answered square bolus, then it would be wrong. This is absolutely the correct answer. Amazing. Commendable. So we have finally found our type 1 genius. Many, many congratulations. Arjun, today with your dedication and hard-earned knowledge on diabetes, you have not only won the comprehensive diabetes care package, making yourself self-reliant, but also won everyone's hearts. Would you like to give any message to the audience on this occasion?
Friends, I may not be good at making a lot of speeches, but I have understood one thing well, that if all activities in life keep going, we cannot achieve perfect sugar levels for all. However, we can definitely develop a perfect attitude towards type 1, after which it will just become a condition for us, not a problem. And yes, if an ordinary child like me can develop this attitude towards type 1, then why can't you?
Isn't that great how Arjun's family, despite hardships and challenges, started managing the type 1 related issues with right information and a positive attitude? What Arjun said was absolutely right. With the everyday ups and downs, we might not always achieve perfect sugar levels, but with optimal information, we can certainly maintain a perfect attitude to manage it. Friends, you are not alone in this journey. Many other families, along with your diabetes specialists and educators, governmental and non-governmental organizations, researchers, etc., are with you in this. Professional societies at international and national levels, such as ISPAD and ISPAE, continuously strive in many ways, including publishing scientifically validated guidelines in this area. Remember, we must choose only appropriate information. In this age of the internet, you may also encounter creations making all kinds of fake claims. Someone might also view your situation as a business opportunity. Only consider applying advice given anywhere to a child if you are assured of its benefit and safety. Remember, insulin is life-saving in type 1. Do not stop it under any circumstances. Take action only after consulting a doctor or educator if you have any doubts, as type 1 can become life-threatening if it worsens. We hope you enjoyed this presentation. Also, share it with all those who can benefit from this information. Subscribing to this channel will encourage us to create more presentations on such topics. You can comment below with suggestions for future topics. We will try to cover the most suggested topics. Until then, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.